Hello and welcome. I'm Cordell Wright.
And I'm Jet Thune.
The University of Sioux Falls Media Department is planning another trip abroad over interim. The 2020 trip will travel across 4 different countries over the course of 10 days in January. Jade Rozak has more on the story.
Brooke Brings is a first-time traveler with USF, and she tells us why she's excited to take this trip.
As an art education major, I felt this trip was perfect because I'm learning all about these really well-known artists and artwork and museums, but it's a different situation to actually physically see the Mona Lisa or to get to see some Van Gogh's artwork in Europe.
Art professor, flight attendant Cece Cooper demonstrates the important features of this trip and why she refers it to anyone.
Great things. One of the things that's great about this course is we finally had it approved last year for it to count towards the Art 100 credit for people who are not art majors. So if you are a major looking for the fine arts credit, you can take this course rather than having to take Art 100 or an art history to satisfy that liberal arts core requirement. It's a fabulous way to travel. It's a fabulous way to get credit for that course that everyone needs to graduate with. So we encourage everyone to look into traveling with the Media and Visual Arts Department in the future.
You will find trip prices and all other trip information online at www.explorica.com. I'm Jade Rozek, and thank you for flying with the USF vessel.
For more information on this trip, contact Assistant Professor of Media Studies Nick Poppins or Associate of Art Professor Cece Cooper.
College is tough for everyone, but for first-generation college students, many will face challenges they don't even understand. We talked with college administrators who are also first-gen students to hear about challenges they faced.
For me, because my dad only had an 8th grade education, that the great challenge was just entering into something that we really didn't know what it meant. I took it for granted. Oh yeah, my folks are sacrificing for me. It's funny how those images are still burned in my mind. I can still remember the first trip to the granary where my dad had to load up a wagon load of grain and take it into town and sell it so that I could get my first deposit made at the school. And I remember that day well because that was the beginning of the journey.
The financial challenge was probably something of consideration for me. I grew up in a very middle income home. I was very proud of those roots. My parents worked very hard. My father was a Sioux Falls City fireman, and they did everything they could to help me, but they just simply couldn't cash out college, so that meant I would have the role of taking on loans and working extra jobs.
The best thing I can say to a first-generation college student, especially in our era in which we live, is develop resiliency, learn to deal with disappointment, that some of the most important things that happen in your life happen through the times when you think a door is closed. Coping with disappointment means being able to cope with life.
Never underestimate the power of the human spirit. Never underestimate yourself.
The Academic Success Center can offer help to all students, but USF takes initiative to help first-gen students.
Creating media is all about practice. Practice comes in many forms of news broadcast or digital storytelling. Recently, graduating senior Wes Johnson worked with the musical group Northern Pass. Moses Idris has more on the story.
Video production students are always looking for ways to practice their new skills. Wes Johnson has spent his senior year gathering video equipment, learning videography techniques, and looking for projects to build his demo reel. Johnson connected with the popular Christian band Northern Pass to showcase their music through video.
You will guide me, I know that I'm not alone.
I got interested in making music video projects when I kind of saw the connection between music and video. Like, it used to be you just had to make a really good song to get popular, and now I see that if you don't have a really good visual with a really good song, it kind of goes under the wayside. So I kind of wanted to be a part of that and got a really good opportunity. Nick Poppins kind of connected me to Northern Pass, and we all were really creative in the process, so I think that's really how it all got started.
Johnson says video production is a blend of classwork, practice, and finding online video tutorials so he can learn new techniques.
I wanted to see what I liked before I started to see how to do it. So I watched a bunch of just music videos, highlight tapes, interviews, stuff that I'm interested in, and found what I liked from each piece and kind of like compiled that in my brain. And then as I started to figure out how to use different softwares such as Premiere and After Effects, I knew what I wanted it to look like. So it made me learning certain skills a lot easier and a lot more streamlined.
'Cause I can't pretend that I'm not falling wildly in love with you. You make me feel alive when I am wildly.
Johnson says working with the band and creating a music video is one of those experiences that comes along once in a blue moon, and it challenges his technical and creative skills.
I love what I do. I love meeting new people. I love meeting creative people. It's probably one of the coolest things I've ever had to do is make videos and take photos, because I feel like I'm creating something that somebody else can use. Like back in the day, it was like, I'm just taking this for myself. I like these videos because I like them. Now it's more like, I feel like I'm impacting people. So yeah, I love what I do. I just don't want to do anything else, but if I have to, I will.
For the Vessel Online, I'm Moses Idris.
Thank you very much, Moses.
And we'll be right back.
I'm Mike Bauman, and I coordinate for Bread Break, our food harvest here at Messiah New Hope. And Gene and I helped start it about 7 years ago, and it's grown to be a pretty major agency in Sioux Falls as far as getting food to those who need it. The concept is there's lots of food overproduced, and it's perfectly good food. And there's a challenge getting it from the restaurants or whoever's produced it to an agency or a group that needs it, that can utilize it. And so the whole concept is just to be able to pick up, transport, and get the food to where it can be used, so it doesn't go to waste, doesn't go in the dumpster.
We love partnering with Bread Break because we love how they spread it all around in the community. It's not just to one organization, but they serve so many different organizations here within Sioux Falls.
The uniqueness of Bread Break is that they can come to us and give it to a wide variety of those in need instead of just one single organization. And Breadsmith really is a community partner. We want to help the community, and by donating our leftover bread, it gives us that opportunity.
The restaurants all really appreciate, I think, that we are consistently doing this for them, and they enjoy doing it. The ones who provide the food recognize this is an important thing to do, and so for them it's been a big plus too.
The USF Theater Department recently had their spring production of She Loves Me. 2 students not only perform on stage, but also have to perform academically. Sammy Peterson has more on the story.
The USF Theater Department recently completed its spring musical, She Loves Me. The production ran Wednesday through Sunday, and many USF students, parents, faculty, and alumni were in attendance. Preparation for the show started in January, and students rehearsed for months to bring the story to life. USF nursing students Andy Shoemake and Jillian Cheney say how they don't let their academic responsibilities keep them from the stage.
I don't know, there is something really fun about just sitting backstage too, and like all of the energy of people like running to different places, and just before you're about to go on, before you open the door into the perfumery, I always love that moment. I go in there and I'm a customer. I get to sing a little trio about all the things I'm shopping for.
So I am playing the role of George Novak in She Loves Me. That is one of the main characters. I really enjoyed getting to know this character and working as this character, and working with Emily Magera as Molly Bolish. The two of us, it's been very difficult for us because at the beginning we have to hate each other, which neither of us in our own self can really do, especially to each other.
Balancing theater and school is a challenge, especially during senior year.
So there's clinicals, and usually those can be anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, right, and up to like 10 hours. Right now I'm in a clinical on Wednesdays for 10 hours, and then I have night classes afterwards. So some days are really long.
Andy and Jillian agree that theater is always worth a commitment, and they encourage USF students to get involved.
So this is my second to last year. I will be a super senior next year, so technically it could be my last year, but I'm hoping to do theater again next year. I will be a nursing senior then next year. And yeah, so hopefully this isn't my last year. We'll see.
For this semester, thankfully the nursing program has been a lot lighter, so I've been able to enjoy theater and more things like that that I like to enjoy outside of nursing school, and it's good to have those things that I'm able to do so I can focus more on what I like to do and what I have to do and be able to balance them.
For the Vessel Online, I'm Samantha Peterson.
Watch for these students during the theater's production next fall.
In the Writing and Intellectual Traditions class called LAR 112 Honors, students had the option to write a paper or create a multimedia with a message. The class taught by Professor Cisa Cooper and Dr. Jenny Bangson. The prompt for the project was Showcase Fear and Juxtaposition with Loving Your Neighbor. Media Studies major Greta Smith, Connor Eckborg, and Rebecca Fisher chose video production, digital storytelling, and a window to paint their vision of the prompt. Here's what they produced.
So if you'd like to write down a word that like you're scared of people, like what people might see in you, so just one of your biggest insecurities.
I don't know.
Like, you want me just to write it down?
Just pick a color, any color. Can I get a couple shots of you writing?
I don't like being emotionally vulnerable.
So just write something people feel, like that I fear.
How would you say like you haven't, like what you think you could be is more than what you could actually be?
I was like, it's all good, I got this. And then I like got up there and was like, oh, wait.
Are you gonna record me write this so everyone's gonna know this is what I fear people see?
I don't know what to say.
What do you want me to write? I have to think of what I want to say though.
The fear that people don't see me as smart.
I just want to make sure I spell it right. I have so many I could put down. Which I don't know if that's sad or not, but...
I know, I gotta think about this.
Go for it.
I don't know.
A R R.
I like someone said annoying and someone said same.
I can just underline, right? If I have one up there.
Is annoying one or two N's? Two. Was that annoying to ask?
I feel like it's a really good question.
Yeah, no, awesome idea. I actually really liked it.
I think it's interesting that our fears are so like deeply rooted in the fact of how other people see us.
Okay, I gotcha.
This is so cool.
Yeah, I'll write one for someone.
Oh, I love that! Well, that was fun.
This does not define me.
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 This does not define me. This does not define me. This does not define me.
This does not define me.
This does not define me.
This does not define us.
Great job, Greta and team. You know, Jet, video production speaks to so many. It's nice to see classes using our medium to project how they feel.
Thanks, Cordell. We'll be right back.
I work in the Infant 1 classroom at our MB South location. So a typical day for me is based on each individual kiddo and their routines. It's very fast-paced, it's very busy, but it's also very exciting.
We have full-time and part-time care for kiddos 4 weeks to 5 years old in our child care program.
MB is a very tight-knit community, from the families that we service every single day to the employees that we work with.
The standard for MB is that every child, we know them by name, we know their families by name, and we're really interactive with our environment, both with each other as staff members and then with our families. That, for me, sets MB apart.
Not only does MB offer great medical, dental, and vision benefits, but they also give their employees great discounts on childcare for their own children, as well as the ability to accrue sick time and vacation time, which is very important for families. That time can be very valuable. My children attend MB, and they love going to MB. Every single day they ask me if it's an MB day, even on the weekends, and they're extremely disappointed when I tell them they have to stay home with their mom.
We're looking for people who love kids. That has to be the first priority. We also want people who are good team members, who are willing to step up and help each other out and really communicate well with our families and with each other. That's a huge benefit for me when I'm looking for childcare workers. I just want somebody who's going to be a good fit with our team and love our kiddos and love our families. Come in ready to work. Come in ready to get on the floor and roll around and be silly and have fun. I think that we're fortunate in our environment that we are able to have fun at work. Like, we're able to laugh and dress up and be silly, and I think that that's something that's super important to do. And as a new childcare worker, come in ready to kind of get dirty and get on the floor and have a bit of fun.
I love my job.
I love my job.
All right, welcome back.
You know, Cordell, with the weather getting nicer, it's looking like baseball season.
Honestly, super excited to get out and start watching some games.
South Dakota is known for unpredictable spring weather. The USF baseball team fell victim to this chaotic weather during their 2019 spring season. Toki LaRose has the details.
In 2019, the USF Cougars baseball team is currently 9-29 with a conference record of 7-18. Despite the inclement weather, the Cougars continue to practice and play throughout the season. The assistant coach, Charlie Dubanoski, explains about the impact of the cold weather during the season.
Our first series of the year has been like February 16th, Saturday, February 16th. It actually snowed on us. So we're out there playing. They got a full turf field. It was chilly, but it was easy enough to play. But then it literally started snowing on us, and we had to postpone the game to the next day. So baseball is kind of a warm weather sport. That's why it's played in the summer. But it's something where you still have to grind and find your way to get through.
Chaz Harder, one of the junior players for the team, talks about how their season has been since the start of the season and the future of the season for their team going forward.
Struggling a little bit, lost the first 10 games this season. Once conference play started up though, we started getting the bats going a little bit. I would expect to lose about 4 dudes. One of them is our big dude, Duncan Yakubowski. He's good for the team GPA, good guy, great for the team. We got a lot of young guys stepping up right now, and hopefully next year turns out to be a little bit better.
For the Vessel Online, I'm Toki LaRose.
Thank you to the seniors and the USF baseball team for a great season.
3 former USF basketball players are looking ahead to their future. Trayvon Evans, Justin Taylor, and Drew Giebert and coach Chris Johnson sat down to talk with Vessel reporter Mercy Oyedare to talk about their journey to becoming professionals in the sport.
Basketball season may have ended, but there are a few players from the USF men's basketball team that haven't stopped their training. After their successful last season, Trayvon Evans, Justin Taylor, and Drew Giebert have been putting in extra time to perfect their ball handling skills. Point guard Trayvon Evans has a training plan he sticks to so he can strengthen his skills.
As of right now, I'm just working out every day, making sure I'm in shape and making sure I'm doing what I need to do, because at the end of the day, all I need is the opportunity to play. So as long as I'm doing what I can do right now to prepare for that opportunity, then I'll be fine.
Justin is ready for this next chapter.
My hopes for the future is to get my degree in May. And after I get my degree, I'm going to try to play professionally. And if that doesn't work out, then I'm going to go into the workforce.
These players' dedication to their sport may help them take their game to the next level, and their former coach is excited about their growth and skills.
JT is a good player because he's one of the most athletic kids I've ever been around. Really strong, has improved a ton in his time here. But I would say his explosiveness and his ability to rebound, block shots. Drew Giebert, offensively, he's probably one of the best players I've ever coached. Can score in a lot of different ways. Has gotten a lot better defensively over his time here too, and led us in block shots last year. I would say with Trayvon Evans, he's kind of a combination of the other two. Very athletic and can score in a lot of different ways. Probably has made more big plays for us over the last 2 years than anyone I can remember in my time here.
Drew is hopeful to see where his talent takes him.
Right now I'm looking at going overseas and continuing to play basketball. I signed an agent a couple weeks ago, so right now I'm kind of in the process of figuring out getting offers and stuff like that to go over there and play. So.
Playing ball overseas is an impressive accomplishment, and these boys just might have what it takes. Good luck to these guys in their efforts. This is Mercy for the Vessel.
Best of luck to those guys trying to further their career.
Cordell, can you dunk?
Honestly, I used to be able to, but this ACL injury certainly slowed me down.
Sure.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Cordell Wright.
And I'm Jet Thune.
Thanks for watching.